What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is Levi Rodgers at Remax Military City and the Levi Rodgers Real Estate Group at Remax. I wanted to go over a few things here and talk to my fellow disabled vets. As many of you know, I'm a 100% disabled vet. I was wounded in combat in 2009 while serving with 7th Special Forces Group, and I've made it my absolute mission of my entire company and my sales team to help our people, my fellow veterans and military and veteran families. It's extremely important to me. I wanted to talk a little bit. I haven't really prepared too much for this class other than just having a lifelong of knowledge on the VA and Texas vet and disabled benefits. However, I just had a family leave my office that was literally about to lose $18,000, and because of some knowledge that I had on the veteran benefits in Texas, it saved them $18,000, and I'm going to explain to you how. So what happened here is, actually, hold on, before we get too far off into this, I want to go ahead and do a check and make sure we are actually live here. And so I'm gonna step off and check here and double check. We are going to do one little check here and make sure we're going here. So what happens oftentimes is, is we have a lot of, here in San Antonio, Texas, we have a lot of 100% disabled veterans. We have a lot of 90% disabled vets, 70, 60, 10%, whatever. And what the deal is that a lot of my people, they come into my office and are like, Levi, help me buy a home. And they don't know the benefits that are afforded to them. The camera's up here. And so, but the benefits that are afforded to them, there's tons of them out there, such as taxes, such as loan benefits, such as no funding fee, no PMI, lower interest rates, and so forth. And what I'm going to do is highlight this family that came into me and they said, Levi, I'd like to rent a home for $2,000. And I said, okay, great, we can help you with that. However, tell me a little bit about yourself. And he went on and he said, well, I'm a veteran, been in the Army for a little while, and I'm ready to go ahead and rent a home, and I like this neighborhood. And so the neighborhood they had and the house they had, it was worth $2,000 was the rent. And so the rent was $2K per month. And so what happened is I said, well, man, wow. And so do you happen to have a disability rating with the VA? And he said, yeah, why? And I said, well, there's a lot of benefits to veterans in the state of Texas and throughout the United States if you have a disability rating. And he said, well, yeah, I'm 100%. Why? I said, wow, did you know that you don't have any tax liability on your single family residence in the state of Texas on your home? He said, no, what does that mean? And I said, well, taxes here are, they're pretty high. I mean, you could have anywhere from 2 to 3% in San Antonio, and that can get a little taxing for my people. And so, but here in the city of San Antonio and throughout the entire state of Texas, very veteran-friendly state, as many of you know, no taxes on your property, on your single-family residence, right, the one you live in, zero tax liability if you are a 100% disabled vet. Again, a 100% disabled vet residing in the state of Texas has zero tax liability on their home, on their single family residence. And so he sat in my office and he said, well, why? What does that mean to me? And I said, well, sir, if you rent that house, the owner of that house still has to pay taxes. He said, all right, well, why can't I just get the taxes off? I said, well, because the owner still has to pay the taxes. And so what we did is we looked at it and I started doing math and I said, what's the address? And so he gave me the address. I pulled it up, and they were asking for just about $2,000 a month. It was $19.95 was the rent. And I said, well, let me go ahead and find a home in that neighborhood. And so I went and found a home in that neighborhood, and the home was for sale in the same neighborhood. It was actually a larger home. It was a lot nicer. This one right here was a 4-bedroom, for rent, was a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath home, for rent in Stillwater Ranch, on the northwest side of San Antonio, and it was $2,000 per month. So I was like, damn, man, that's a lot of money. Let me look in the neighborhood, and I'll go ahead and tell you what you can buy a home for, and then we can do the math. And that's what I'm walking you guys through right now. So I'm going to get on my computer here and then pull this stuff up so I don't have any numbers here that are wrong. And then so what I'm going to do is go into Stillwater Ranch. and I found a home that was the least expensive 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath home on the market. Now I found one here, and it's actually larger than the other one in nicer condition, and it's listed at $250,000. So a 4, 2.5, same neighborhood, Stillwater, right? It was listed at $250,000. Now, if you work with me, I'm going to negotiate that off anyway and get it for less. But let's just pretend for a second that Levi sucks and Levi can't get this price lower, okay? So the sales price that you agree on is $250,000, or you can rent the same house, actually one that's a little bit smaller, the same neighborhood, for $2,000 a month, okay? And this is 100% disabled vet, 100% disabled vet, okay? Which equals no taxes, So this guy, we're sitting there looking, and I did the math for him, and I said, okay, sir, so let's pretend for a second you got a 3.25% interest rate, right? And your insurance was $100 a month, all right? And the association fees were $50 a month, right? And you're gonna have 0 private mortgage insurance because we're gonna do a VA loan. And he said, okay. And then what I did is I did the math, right? And I'm gonna pull the math up right now. Okay, his monthly principal and interest payment was $1,088.02. So $1,088.02. He said, well, what about insurance? What about the HOA fees? I said, okay, great. With insurance on this one, it was $1,238, right? So we have a case where a smaller home, same neighborhood, same functionality, 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath, was for rent for $2,000 a month, and they were perfectly ready, willing, and able to go and just give this landlord $24,000, right? Money lost. They were just going to give him $24,000 for that year. That's bananas. That's a lot of money. You lose no matter what when you're renting. You're going to just give the money away to the landlord, right? And so what I presented was this option right here on the buy side. This is rent. 100% disabled vet, right? Principal and interest, principal and insurance and interest, right? Okay, because he doesn't have taxes. Literally, it's almost $1,000 a month savings. And he's like, Levi, well, man, you know what? I'll be able to pay down some debt with that, because I'm going to have $1,000 a month savings on my budget. I had no idea about this tax benefit. And so, this is not really a big formal class here, but it's just a snapshot to give you disabled vets out there a quick understanding as to how easy and how much money you can save as a 100% disabled vet in the state of Texas. Also, I want to let you know, I have something worked out with my lenders that we work with, right, to where they don't take into account the taxes, okay, when they pre-qual, okay? That's a big deal. If the taxes are $1,000 a month, and they go ahead and reduce that by a significant amount, then you're going to go ahead and be able to qualify for much more, right? And so, if you are 90 or 100% disabled vet, or you're 100% disabled vet, even if you're a 10% disabled vet, you need to give me a call and start asking me questions, okay? I'm also going to go over some of the other benefits for disabled veterans and veterans on the VA loan and the Tex Vet loan. I'm going to go over that real quick too. If you're watching this and you have any questions, go ahead and type them below. I have somebody here that can go ahead and ask me and help me with the questions, okay? So here we go. So let's also, is it covered over here too? Can they see? Okay. So let's say a 10% disabled vet comes into my office and says, hey, Levi, I'm a 10% disabled vet. I got out of the Army and, I want to buy a house. All right, great. So the big benefit they have at that point is that they're going to go ahead and lose the funding fee that the VA charges. The VA, everybody thinks that the VA loan is free and all this other stuff. It's the best loan out there, in my opinion. However, there are some charges and expenses that you've got to know about. And one of those charges and expenses is the VA funding fee. This is the one that they add on at the end, and there's a lot of veterans don't realize that they just got this money tacked onto their note, and then they have to sell their home in a year or two. Well, then they're up the creek right there without a paddle. And so I'm going to talk to you about this VA funding fee. On your first home, if you buy a home, and this is home 1, or if this is home 2 with the VA loan, right? So let's say your first home, you're going to have a 2.15% funding fee tacked onto the purchase price of the home. So if you buy a home for $200K after closing or at the closing table, they're going to add this plus 2.15%. Okay, now you don't pay that up front or anything. They spread that over 30 years on your mortgage. It's a really good deal, and it's a lot better than private mortgage insurance on an FHA loan, right? It's a better deal for the veteran, in my opinion, in most cases, and I can explain why and so forth as well. So 2.15%. So you say, hey, Levi, wait a minute, but I'm a 10% disabled vet. I heard that I don't have to pay that. I'm going to say you're absolutely right. If you're a 10% or greater vet, this goes away. Now you say, hey, Levi, wait, I bought 3 houses when I was a young soldier or airman or however, and now I want to buy my retirement house, and I want to go ahead and use the VA loan. Well, I'm going to say, sir, ma'am, the VA on your second and subsequent use of the VA loan is going to charge a funding fee of 3.3%. So check this out. So on your second plus use of the VA loan, 3.3% is what they charge as a funding fee. So you buy your house for $200,000, they're going to go ahead and add $6K to that right off the bat. So your loan will be for $206 plus any other kind of charges that they have on that. And so now if you have a 10% or greater disability, 10% or greater disability, they will go ahead and waive the funding fee. Again, 10% or greater disability, you lose the funding fee on the VA, all right? And so you say, Levi, okay, great, that sounds wonderful. Where do I sign? I said, well, hold on. Let me tell you about some more benefits that are available to you as a veteran here in the state of Texas. And I'm going to say, okay, you said you had at least 10%. Do you happen to have 30% or greater? And the veteran says, yes, actually, Levi, I do. I have a 30% disabled rating. And I'll say, well, great. Well, let me tell you about a wonderful program that I know of called the Tex Vet Loan Program. So I'm going to write that up here. Write that up here. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry. I'm going to get to this. This class wasn't planned. We're just kind of ad-libbing it. So I'm going to talk about 100% disabled vet. 0 taxes. All right? 0 property taxes. I don't want nobody trying to sue me because I told them the wrong stuff. So, in a 30% or greater disabled vet, they get offered a really, really neat reduced interest rate with the Texas Vet Land Board. So if the Tex Vet main rate, their normal rate for everybody is sitting at 4%, because you have a 30% or greater disability, it's going to be at 3.5. If the regular rate's at 3.5%, if you have a 30% or greater disability, it's going to be at 3.0. Earlier this year, we got one done, I think about 2.15%, I think was the lowest I've ever seen. I mean, that's absolutely amazing, okay? So if you're 10% or greater, you lose the funding fee, which can be anywhere from, $2,000 or $3,000 all the way up to like $13,000 or $14,000, right? Because the VA caps out right at 417, right? So you figure 3.3% on 417. Wow, somebody can have a $13,000 or $14,000 funding fee, which can start adding up real quick, especially if you're going to turn around and sell a home quick. So these are all things I want to talk about. So 10% or greater, you lose the funding fee. 30% or greater in the state of Texas, you're not going to have any, You're not going to have to, you're going to have a reduced interest rate capability with the Tex Vet Land Board. And then if you're 100% disability or greater, you have 0 tax liability on your single family residence. There's a couple other things I want to talk about. Here, the VA loan is by far the best loan in the world, in my opinion. It is absolutely amazing opportunity. The original intentions of the VA loan was to give the veteran the opportunity to purchase a home they would not have otherwise been able to purchase. I'm going to talk about a couple other things that are out there. A lot of people don't know that you can buy more than 417. Everybody tells me, oh, Levi, the cap's 417. That's not true. We're going to go ahead and tell you, I've done $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 VA loans, and I'm going to tell you what happens. So, one second, I'm erasing this stuff. Hold on one second, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and let us know and type in, and I'll start answering them, okay? And then funding fee, okay. So, somebody comes to me and they says, hey, Levi, I want to buy a $600,000 house, but I want to use my VA eligibility. Can I do that? My friend told me I couldn't do that. Well, absolutely you can. You could 100% do it. I do it all the time. So let's go ahead and run through the math and we'll talk through it real quick. If you can, I'm going to grab my calculator here because I'm not a damn mathematician. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do a quick old thing and we're going to say, okay, pretend that the veteran wants to buy a house right here, big old gigantic house with a big old happy face on it. And this house costs $500,000, right? And they come to Levi and says, can I use my VA loan? The answer is yes, and I'm going to show you how. And I'm going to go ahead and also show you that it's your best option. All right, so the cap in San Antonio, Texas, or most of the United States, to borrow 100% loan to value on a VA. Does anybody out there know, or we got some watchers, or we got some people here? Does anybody know that? There it went. Okay. So, anyways, if you're watching this, like and share it. Do me a favor, like and share it, because chances are, if you're watching this, somebody that you know in your sphere of influence would want to watch this as well. Go ahead and like and share this. And at the end, what I'm going to do is ask you, go ahead and type your questions. I'll answer any questions on the VA and a tax vet loan or military or veteran real estate. You ask the questions, I'll go ahead and answer it right there. And if I don't know it, I know the people that will. I got people all the way up to the head of everything at the VA that can help answer these questions. And if you had a problem in the past with your VA loan, or if you currently have a VA loan, or you currently have a tax vet loan, you're having trouble with it or something, you go ahead and reach out to me. You can private message us or you can write the question below. I will get you the answer. I will help you. My number one goal in my entire business is to help my people. And so we'll go ahead and take care of that. But let me go ahead and talk about this. We got this house here, $500,000 house. Veteran comes up to me and says, Levi, I've done well in life. I retired, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm a doctor or what have you, and I want to buy a $500,000 home. Oh, great. Let's go ahead and talk. Let's say, okay, but the cap is $417 on the VA, Levi. How do I do it? And I'll say, well, let me explain how. So the cap for 100% loan to value on the VA is $417, right? So basically we do simple math. We say $500,000, right, minus $417. Let me do my math here. 1 second here. 500 grand point minus 417. That leaves 83,000, right? So you say, oh wow, okay, so I can put this in by putting the 83 down. Well, I might as well just do a conventional loan. I say, no, hold on. The VA has a heart. They only want 25% of this number as a down payment. So we're going to take 83,000, we're going to times 0.25, so it's $20,000, right? So you say, Levi, well, it's actually $20,750, all right? So $20,750. You say, but wait, Levi, that's a lot of money. Well, I said, well, yeah, you're buying a $500,000 house. And normally people that are putting a $500,000 house and they're buying it, they're going to have to do what's called a 20% down conventional, right? Now, even if, right, if you're doing a $500,000 house times 20% down, right, that's 100 grand. So because you're a veteran, you can save almost $80,000, right? There is no better loan, in my opinion, than the VA loan. And if you have served, or your spouse has served, or you have a disability, or your spouse has a disability, you come to Levi. If you're looking at buying a house or selling one as a veteran, you got to come to Levi. I don't even care if you use me. That's okay. I want to help you because I am that confident in my knowledge, skills, and abilities in this stuff. I've studied this stuff every hour of every day that I've had available for the last 5 years. And the thing is, and if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer. This is my passion. So if you're looking to buy a house above 417, you can absolutely do that, okay? They only want 25% of the differential. 25% of the differential, okay? So in this case, just to summarize it, the purchase price was $500,000, right? The max 100% value that you can get on is $417 here in San Antonio, right? So 500 minus 417 is 83,000. That's known as a differential. Then we take 25% of that differential, then the down payment is $20,750. $20,750 versus a minimum of 100 grand, I'll take that all day long. You'll say, Levi, but wait, hold on, there's got to be a catch. What's the interest rates? Most banks, the VA rate is going to be lower. And you say, Levi, who decides, how does the VA figure out these rates? They don't. It's the bank. So if you are borrowing money and you're working with an agent out there, you're working with a lender out there, I mean, talk to them about these rates. Talk to them about that stuff. A lot of people think that it's decided by the VA. That's not true. It's decided by the market. All right? So one more time, okay, I'm going to talk about this. You absolutely can purchase a home as a veteran on a VA loan above 500. Now, if you're using a tax-vet VA loan, it gets a little difficult, and I'll give that class later, okay? If tax-vet, you're going to want to use a 417 or below in most cases, okay? And I can explain that. Hit me up privately if you want me to explain that one. I'll explain that to you too. So 500,000 or more, 417 or more. I've done VA loans up to, I think the highest one we've done was just about 970 or so, because it gets to a point where you're buying enough of a house. I mean, you probably got some cash to put down anyway, right? And so looking at that, that's good. Now you say, wait, Levi, hey, hold on. I'm a 100% disabled vet, and somebody said that I don't have to pay any taxes. Is there a cap? Nope, there's not a cap. I have friends that live in homes that have zero tax liability, that the taxes on that are $25,000, $30,000 a year, and the state of Texas waives that for 100% disabled vets. If you're a disabled veteran, and especially if you're living in the state of Texas, and you don't own real estate, the time to start growing your wealth through real estate is now. Real estate has changed my life immensely. I mean, I have made lots of money and many wonderful memories through real estate, all right? I'm not saying I can make you rich tomorrow through real estate, but I damn sure can make you happier. You give me a call and I'll answer your questions and I'll give you an honest opinion. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. You can go come here, get all the information from Levi and go use somebody else. I really don't care. I care about helping my people. I've got some questions, I think. Do we have any questions? Or if I don't, that's cool. But let me see and check the questions here. Okay. So Deanna says, what about 80 to 90%? Okay, yeah, so 80 to 90%, that last, everybody in our world, everybody always says that last 10% is the hardest. It actually is. I don't understand how the VA calculates these damn numbers, because they'll go, okay, 10%, 20%, 30%, and then that last 10%, you got to get another damn 100% to get the damn 10%. It doesn't make any sense. But those of you that are in the circles, you understand what I'm saying. And so I'm with you. That last 10% is usually the toughest. And so I will refer you to Bexar County's websites or whatever county that you live in for the math. But they don't do a total exemption of taxes for anything other than 100%. And so if you're a 100% disabled vet, total exemption of property taxes here in the state of Texas. If you're 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, and so on, they do give you a tax break, and I can have you in my office and I can go over it because it requires some crazy math problem, and we can go over that, but it's not nowhere near as significant as the 100%, okay? If you're a disabled vet out there and you think you qualify for 100% disabled vet rating, or you're at 70 or 80, one of the foundations that I support called the Oasis Group, we do a tremendous amount of outreach with them. They can help you, and I could get you linked up with them, and we could go ahead and help you to maybe see if you have that we can do something to advise you to get your disabled rating up and so forth, so you can get compensation for your disability and so forth. So we can coach you and help you with that, get you linked up with the right people. But there is a tax benefit in the state of Texas for every disabled rating 50 and above, okay? But what I'm going to do is refer you to Bexar County on that, or you can come into my office and I could help you do the math and show you that stuff, because it's different in every occasion. And so the only one that's constant is the 100% disabled vet. The other thing, for the 100% disabled vets, it goes into effect immediately. So when you buy your house as a 100% disabled vet, you go ahead and go get your driver's license with the new address, and then immediately your tax break goes into effect. That was a new law just a couple years ago that got passed, and it's just very, very, very neat. And so there are a tremendous amount of benefits out there as veterans, disabled veterans, when purchasing real estate. If you have any questions, I can answer all of them for you, or get you pointed in the right direction. The bottom line, when I bought my first house when I was in the Army, as a young soldier, bought that. It was 22 years old. The house was completely jacked up. It was nasty. It was ugly. But you know what? It was great for us. And when I got out of the Army, I really, really needed that. I sold that house, and it helped me. It helped me big time. And so if you're out there and you're renting and you're a veteran or you're military and you say, hey, Levi, my credit's not there, or this is that, or this is preventing me from buying a house, give me a call. Okay, I'll talk with you. I'll spend as much time with you as you need. Come down and sit down in my office. We'll make an appointment, and I'll help you get there. It may take you a year. It may take you 6 months. It may take you 90 days. But more often than not, I get veterans and disabled veterans that contact me and say, hey, Levi, I never thought I could buy a house, but I think the time's right. And they sit down in my chairs, and guess what? They are more than qualified to buy a house. And more often than not, when you go ahead and put that money towards your mortgage, it is a far better use of your dollar than putting it towards some landlord's pocket, right? There's a reason why guys like me in real estate buy as much rental properties as they can, because it is a great business, okay? My fellow veterans, please listen to me 100%. If you're paying money for rent somewhere, I want you to please consider buying a house, okay? Whether you use me or not, I must emphasize on that, I really don't care. I want you to go out and find whoever the heck it is that you are trusted with and you use the best, but I want you to go out there and make an effort towards buying a house. Real estate has positively changed my life in amazing ways, and I know it can change yours in positive ways as well. There's a tremendous amount of benefits for veterans and disabled veterans and active duty military and reservists and National Guards and spouses. There's also another thing. If you're a disabled, 100% disabled vet and you die, your wife, they also get those tax benefits, right? So the surviving spouse of a 100% disabled vet, they get to keep those same tax benefits that you earned and as a 100% disabled vet. So the purpose of this was just to share that story. A veteran couple came in, they walked in my office, they were wanting to rent a home for $2,000. They walked out with a pre-approval, buying a home for $1,000 less per month, and finally be able to put some money towards their save their bills and stuff. So it can happen to you, or you can reach out to us. I'd like everybody to like and share this video below. If you think it can help a veteran or anybody out there, please just go ahead and just share it. Share the video. You never know who may see it and who we may be able to help or inspire to get in this business. If you're watching this and you have some questions or you have some desires to purchase a home or sell a home or whatever it is, if you just have a question about flipping a home or whatever it may be, shoot us a message. We'll get you answered. We'll help you out. I'm going to do one last check and see if we have any questions here, and then we'll go ahead and cut loose. I do appreciate everybody's time, and I guess we go from there. Okay, so I'm going to summarize this right here. 100% disabled vet, 0 property taxes in the state of Texas. 100% disabled vet.